Hey folks, Post here. Welcome back to another Pokemon Masters video, and stuff just keeps on coming out apparently. Someone on Discord actually posted screenshots of the Battle Villa, the enemy's team lineups for the Battle Villa, and again, as with all usual potential leaks, right? Rumors until verified, right? Treat them as rumors, treat them as falsehoods until they are verified officially, right? So, anyways, and we won't take long. It's it's just it's coming out tonight, right? But just in case these are real, right? and they kind of look legit. I mean, right? Let's check them out and see what these are all about. So, we got two sets, right? One being the one with Rachel as the boss, and the other one with Nolan as a boss, which is really interesting. Like Nolan with Machamp. We'll get into that in a bit, but first let's look at this set, right? So it's 9 enemies total, right? That's the 3 lanes. So the first set is Salamence, Garchomp, and Haxorus, 3 pseudo legendary dragons. Totally fine, right? Second row we got Arcanine, Houndoom, and Rapidash, all fire types, weak to water. And third set is all weak to electrical ice / water types, right? Got Walrein, Lapras, and Dugong. So for those who didn't see the details on the letter, right? First of all, you could check out my video, which I did earlier, that went through in detail the producer's letter. But just a quick overview for those who haven't seen this yet. Right, so apparently you could bring up to 9 sync pairs on your team into the battle. So the thing is, we don't know how these battles are going to proceed, right? Is it just going to be 9 versus 9 like outright, or is it you pick 3 out of your 9 and then you battle your opponent's 3, and then after you take out those 3, and then like you get to change your team or whatever, right? So that could prove to be a deciding factor, right? So something else that we should also keep in mind is that the allies' HP and MP remaining at the end of the battle carry over to the next battle. So if you're low on HP on whatever sync pair you had out, right, these should still be low on HP. If you used up all the MPs, right, if you don't know what MP is, for those who don't know, I guess MP is just the amount of times you could use like a certain move. So yeah, for example, the 2 out of 2 dire hits, that's MP. You can only use it twice, so I would assume once you're done using these 2 dire hits, and then you go into like the next stage, like the dire hits are gone. So should be similar to how a lot of the main story stuff plays out, right? But anyways, let's get into this set. So assuming this is legit, which again, we shouldn't assume it's legit, but going into this, we got 3 sets, so we can bring 9 sync pairs of our own to combat this. I would assume that they start the first line at the bottom, from bottom to top. The top, I wouldn't assume. I mean, that's how they lay out when you click on battle info, right? So they're gonna start Salamence, Garchomp, and Haxorus. We would have to go for an ice type to take them out. Our game doesn't have a lot of a lot of good ice types, right? Unfortunately, like literally, like our only like good ice type is Dugong, which is a free-to-play 3-star ice type AoE unit, which AoE in single player is very, very good. So there's that. Dugong would be a really solid choice here, especially if you synchroned it up, which I personally already synchroned it up, right? Not too much of a difference before and after synchron, but hey, since it's single player, you could set up Hail for Dugong, right? You could go for a Hail setup for Dugong, which would make it quite powerful, right? So there's that. As for Dugong, let me just check how much the stats work in on Dugong's part. So here's Dugong's skill. So you got Icy Wind, that's your main damage dealing move, right? 3 gauges, lowers target speed, 96 power, 95 accuracy, unfortunately, special attack, AoE. AoE in single player is really, really good. So I got Dire Hit. I think I do have an MP refresh on the Dire Hit, if I remember correctly. Yep, Dire Hit, MP refresh, so we could get that +3. But that's more useful in co-op. Like, if we're doing single player where we have other supports that we could bring in, I would say I'd just probably drop the MP refresh for Dugong and then just go with something else. So there's that. I'll teach you a lesson. Sharply raises special attack and special defense. I don't think special defense will be very useful here since the opponent Garchomp, Haxorus, and Salamence. Maybe Salamence has special attacks, but generally Garchomp and Haxorus are, physical strikers. So going into that, we do have Super Duper Effective, which, coupled with Icy Wind will do a lot of damage. So I'd probably just bring Torchic would be a really good support to use in this scenario, right? You got Blazing Hope, that's +1 crit and +2 special attack. So Blazing Hope, 1 Blazing Hope, +2 Dire Hits, and then +2 I Teach You Lessons. That should be +6 special attack and +3 crit. And I would prioritize using Dugong's own buffs, since after you finish using Dugong, after you beat the first set, you kind of don't really need Dugong anymore. I mean, it could be still useful in the back later if it's still alive and like you just somehow barely miss killing the last set. You could maybe bring Dugong back in, right? But aside from that, you should probably just use Dugong's buffs because support, since you don't have MP refresh, they might come in handy later in the game, right? So there's Dugong. You could go for Dugong for the first set. Bring Torchic on the side for 1. Maybe, depending on how difficult, because you definitely do want to bring Rose and Delibird, but it really depends on where you want to use Rose Delibird. So Move Gauge Recovery, one of the strongest support moves in the game, especially for single player. It really depends if you want to use it on first stage, second, or third, because you have 2 uses for all the presents from Rose and Delibird. Not sure if you want to blow it on the first set, although the first set might be a bit dope because again you're using Dugong, which isn't it's not like bad, but depending on how easy or hard, you might want to use Delibird in there. If you don't want to use Delibird and maybe you went with like a hail path for Dugong, you could bring Abomasnow to bring in the hail, right? So that would work very favorably for Dugong there. So assuming we get rid of that first set, and then we still got 1 Blazing Hope with Torchic. I would assume Torchic is still alive, maybe. Ooh, that's a tough one. Torchic might not be alive. Okay, so let's just go over both scenarios if Torchic's still alive or dead. So we're moving on to the next set. Next set is weak to water, which we will be needing instead physical buffers this time instead, right? Weak to water. Honestly, I don't think we would need any supports for the next set. For the next set, I just probably, if you have both Gator and Floatzel, I'd just bring 2 strikers. I know like this isn't like really a thing that people do, 2 strikers, and maybe bring either Delibird or Medicham, right? So you start out with both Feraligatr and Floatzel, and then Feraligatr you go X attack twice, pick up the pace, Mega Kick, pick up the pace, Mega Kick again, and then once you're out of Mega Kicks, you could use Medicham. What was its trainer move again? Like Buff Up or something? The one that gives you sure crit sure hit and crit up. You give that to Feraligatr, get another Mega Kick. Use that again, get another guaranteed Mega Kick, and then when you're after your Feraligatr dies, you could go with Floatzel to clean up, potentially, just in case Feraligatr is not enough to clean up by itself, just because of the limited uses for Feraligatr's Mega Kick. I really think Feraligatr might be a bit limited in this mode, since it takes a while to clear, right, in comparison. So, from what I've heard, from folks who claim that they have been playing this already, they've been saying it's super hard. It's someone described it as like basically like the old, basically harder than the old pre-nerfed EX challenges, which does say a lot, right? It takes about Someone said, 10 minutes to complete. So that's why I might bring a backup Floatzel here, right? Just in case Fraligator doesn't get the job done. Floatzel with, +3 crit, +6 physical attack. It's going to do a lot of damage as well. So I wouldn't worry about the damage component. So the last set is interesting because we just have three sync pair slots left, right? And I've been thinking, in terms of just single target damage, Alyssa and Pikachu definitely are incredibly strong here for Electro type. But it is single player, and How's Discharge might be able to do better in this scenario. But should I also bring Pikachu, right? So How and Raichu is missing crits, right? So we probably would have to bring crits. Feel the Lowland Breeze gives drastic speed, so that's +6 speed and +2 evasion. Then you got X special attacks. You don't have to worry about that department. So bring a crit buffer, I would assume. So maybe a Alolan Raichu plus Torchic if it's still alive, just get that one Blazing Hope in. And then maybe Meganium for the rest of the dire hits, or I guess Dust, or not Dusclops. Dusknoir would be a better. Ooh, what type are they? They're all special attackers. Meganium might be good here because Meganium also has Light Screen. Because with Meganium you get Hollow to 100% crit, right? And then you also have Light Screen to protect against opponent's special attacks, which they generally are all special attack strikers. Well, they're not all strikers, but you get the point. Special attackers, right? So, or enemies. Let's go with that. So I guess that would be a legitimate strategy, maybe. And obviously, how you could replace with Pikachu. If you max out Synchron, obviously you don't want to throw Pikachu in there if you don't have it Synchron maxed out, or just like Vanilla. I mean, you only have Vanilla, right? Alyssa, right? Obviously, Signasuit Alyssa is not a. Oh, when Battle Villa comes out, Signasuit Alyssa might be out as well, right? So we could pair up Signasuit Alyssa with Fraligator, so we make Fraligator's sync move, count down much quicker, and we also give Fraligator accuracy, max accuracy Mega Kick, and then on the other side we could put Dusclops, so we could give constant. Oh yes, Signasuit Alyssa. Oh, Signasuit Alyssa is so good. It's so good. So yeah, there's that possibility. So anyways, we still don't know exactly how this works. If we change teams every time we go in, or it's just all the 9 of them, and then there's like a massive UI to swap in between, which is fine. Once your first set, your ice set is done, you can just swap them all out, right, to the second set, or maybe keep like Torchic in there if you still need Torchic, right? But yeah, that's the first set. The second set is quite interesting, which, by the way, the boss Nolan has Machamp. Obviously, Machamp in this game, as a player character, has Pinsir / Mega Pinsir. So not sure why it has Machamp. Is this potentially hinting at future sync pairs having, or future trainers, same suits, same whatevers, but having different Pokemon? Maybe this is like a Pokemon egg thing, right? You give a trainer a Pokemon egg, hatches a different Pokemon for them with the same trainer, without Signasuits, right? The same trainers. That could be interesting. So anyways, back to the task at hand. Let's try and solve this one. Again, I don't know the difficulties for these. I might be talking about like something super easy and I'm just completely wasting my time, but I don't know. I'm just excited. Like, so much stuff is coming out. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I can't go to sleep. I just want to talk about Pokemon Masters. If you guys can't tell, I really like doing this. So, the first wave here, that's Bug type. Bug type, if you got Noland, that should be pretty easy clear. Maybe even Beedrill would help out as well, right? Beedrill is Beedrill's decent once you Mega it. Before you Mega, it's whatever. But it's single player. You get Megas pretty easily. Beedrill could be a decent option here as well. But I prefer Nolan. Nolan's probably safer. Nolan with accuracy buffs. Okay, no. I don't know if I'm willing to use my my Alyssa on the first round. Although the first round is honestly, the first round is probably the hardest here, because if you look at the second and third round, the second round's weak to Ghost. The third round's weak to Psychic. That's just Mewtwo food. If you got Mewtwo, Shadow Ball for the second round, Psychic for the third round, that's just should be an easy clap. So I don't know. Maybe the second round Shadow Ball, and then if your Mewtwo like dies by the time third round comes around, use something else, Reuniclus or Mew, right? I wouldn't think Mewtwo would die, right? It's not taking damage. It shouldn't be taking damage unless there is AoE damage from Ho. Okay, never mind. Maybe just take out the Ho first. And then, last stage, Psychic, Mewtwo. If you have any HP left with Mewtwo, go ahead and Mewtwo the stage. Or if you got Mew around, you could go with that as well. So there's that. So I do think the first set is probably the most difficult, right? So you throw in Nolan. Let's see, Nolan. You don't need Delibird here at all. Nolan, if you got Cygnus or Alyssa, you just throw it in like any set. It's just so good. Cygnus or Alyssa, Nolan, and probably, let's see, something else. Maybe Meganium to set light screen, because all three of these psychic types, Grumpig might have like Zen Headbutt or something, but most of these would probably be using special attacks, right? So Meganium to get max dire hit there, or max crit. And then Nolan gets X attack himself. Get accuracy so your Fury Cutter doesn't miss. So this shouldn't be too difficult. And then the second set, you bring out Mewtwo, maybe, right? Shadow Ball. And this is where potentially, stuff like Fantina would have been really nice if, Fantina is as advertised, right, in the rumors. So Fantina not only has an AoE move, it's also a second Shadow type striker, just in case your Mewtwo dies. Just in case your Mewtwo dies here, you need a backup. Shadow. Did I just say Shadow type? Ghost type striker. You throw out Miss Magius and then go ham with that, right? So Mewtwo, some good partners would obviously be Rosa Delibird, or just regular Rosa, right? Rosa Superior with the unlimited move gauge refresh from time to energize from the sync grid from Superior, and then you also got X special attack. All right, yeah, that'll be really, really good. Also, extremely tanky from Superior. Probably want to take out Lowland Raichu first, so they don't AoE hit you or hit your striker. So probably take that out first, and then deal with the Metagross and Metacham later, right? Metagross. Did I say that again? Metagross. As I am instructed to say. Apparently that's how I pronounce it. Metagross. Ugh, gross. But yeah, probably take out the Alolan Raichu first, so the AoE attacks don't get to your strikers, and then your Superior, assuming you bring Superior, right, should be able to tank Metagross and Metacham no problem before your Mewtwo takes him out. So there's that. As for the last set, assuming your Mewtwo is still alive, bring Mewtwo in there, get a few hits in. If it goes down, then bring in Mew. I would assume it goes until everyone on your team is either knocked out or you take out the opponents completely. So Mew would be a good option, right? If you go with the Sync Nuke build, you might just one-shot Machamp. And then, before that, you could just dish out Swift to lower your opponent's stats and all that. And then when the Sync move comes around, go for the Nuke. And afterwards, with the powered-up Psychic, just finish off the sides. Yeah, this is interesting. Again, these are leaks. They could potentially be false, right? We'll have to wait. I mean, it's just a few hours, depending on when I decide to release this video. So tonight, Battle is coming out. I will be streaming summons for Red and Charizard, as well as Signasuit Red and Charizard, as well as Signasuit Alyssa, if that indeed does come out as well. Maybe Belleville as well. Lot of stuff coming up. So stay tuned. Anyways, that's my for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. These seem really interesting. Again, a lot of people say, or not a lot of people, just the few people who claim that they've fought this have said it's really difficult. So that's exciting. Finally get some difficult content for us to play with it in the game with our seemingly overpowered sync pairs at the moment, because like right now the sync pairs just crush everything. But again, like and enjoy this video, subscribe to the channel for some more Pokemon Masters content. A lot of stuff coming up, and I'll see you guys later today.